How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Bubble's BuzzerBeater, the unofficial official BuzzerBeater YouTube channel. For those of you who have been here before and are subscribed, I wanted to give you guys a huge thanks before I get going on this video. We just reached 450 subscribers, which is a pretty substantial mark, considering the about 13,000 total users on the game. So 450 strong is really good for this community. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, I encourage you guys to do so. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the All-Star Week and kind of my opinion of it, I guess. I had a couple people reach out and ask if I would do a video on like the All-Star game or All-Star voting, and I don't have a whole lot to talk about in regards to the All-Star weekend. It is probably one of my least favorite weeks of the BuzzerBeater season, to be honest, and there's a couple reasons for that, but the main thing for the All-Star game, I think why I just haven't liked it a whole lot in the past, is it's very inconsistent in terms of who's actually making the All-Star game, and I'm not sure how it's calculated or what it looks like. It looks like our league actually did very well. So my Division 4 league, the 4 teams in the Great 8, so you can see me down there at the 4 seed, but these 4 teams right here are better than any team on the other side, so it's a pretty stacked conference on our side, which makes it make a little bit more sense why it's 174 to 94. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the 3-point shooting contest or anything. But let's go ahead and take a look at the game for the first time. So, yeah, you can see the rating disparity right there. But I actually had 3 players in the All-Star game. So, Bridges right here, starting power forward. He's actually one of my rookies, so he's like a $3K salary player, but got the start at power forward, I guess. And then Fugatti got the start at point guard. And then the center that I just bought recently for my starting center, he had enough votes for the backup center role in the All-Star game. So shout out to them, I guess. But that's kind of one of the reasons it's inconsistent and why I don't take too much stock into whether or not my players are going to be all-stars or anything, because if we go to voting results, we'll see right here. So like I said, the center that I just picked up a little bit ago got the backup center spot, and you can see right here, so 22,000 votes, beat out my other big as well as another big in the league. But if we go to his stats, I picked him up right here, so he's actually only played in 3 league games for our league, which is interesting because, when you think about the All-Star game and for the NBA and just in general, you would think that it's players who have been in the league and are showing out, but in this situation, he's only played in 3 games. I also think that for the league leaders, so you can see the league leaders for average points per game, where you need a minimum of 9 games played of the 13 games, which I think is reasonable. But to see players make the All-Star game when they've played like two or 3 games for a team doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The other thing that's interesting is you can see for the league scoring, Batulis and Roy right there, they're second and third, and I think Boston as well, but those 3 players right there who are second, third, and fourth in the league in scoring, if you go to the All-Star Week voting, go to the voting results, and Batulis got some votes but didn't make the team, and yeah, the other 2 guys are nowhere to be found. So it's just interesting because the voting system for the All-Star game in BuzzerBeater doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, where it's like the second leading scorer in the whole league, and he doesn't even make the All-Star game. But the three-point contest is actually something that I've enjoyed in the past if I do have a player in it. You can see there were fresh results where I remember seasons ago, if I had a player in it, it was fun to kind of watch through that progress of the qualification round and then the final round. Goes by kind of quickly, but overall, All-Star Weekend is a lot like in the NBA where some people will enjoy it, but I personally don't. Reasons why I don't like it as well is that it's a shorter week, so for minutes and for training, you only get 2 games in the week instead of 3. So that means if you're like me where I'm training 5 to 6 players right now, where essentially I have to make it where a couple of my guys aren't getting training, and it's also harder to kind of get good minutes because in 2 games a lot can happen, whereas it's nice to have that third game normally in the week to kind of balance out minutes if needed. So this is always a week where people get screwed minutes-wise as well. So All-Star Weekend, not very kind for minutes or training and just the game itself. I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. I think it's at a good point in the season, makes sense where it's at. It's just, it would be nice to have that third game in the week. So that would be the main thing, I think, for me, is if you could, stack on another scrimmage or something, then I think I would enjoy the week a little bit more. But the one positive is that after the All-Star game, the draft and scouting does become available. So you can see that the draft and scouting page, I'm not investing that much in the scouting right here, as you can see, with only 2 points right now. But for those of you who do invest in the draft, I know on my main team, I invest in the draft a decent amount. So it was exciting to go through the draft list for those. Found a couple of intriguing guys, but that's really the biggest excitement for me about the All-Star Weekend is when the draft board becomes available. So other thing to note is this is also the week where the BuzzerBeater Madness tournaments go into the knockout stage right here. So you can see Tier 14. This is the one that I am in. And let's scroll down and see if I can find myself. So I'll be right there. It looks like I am the 10 seed, playing the 7 seed right there. So so it's interesting to see that broken up with the BuzzerBeater Madness tournaments. The final games were today, so that is exciting as well. BuzzerBeater Madness in general has just been a great addition where I think it gives me something to look forward to every single week. And then same exact thing for B3. As you can see, that little notification is there now, so the B3 bracket is now starting. So starting on March 9th, the BBB tournament starts. So that's another thing to be excited for. But like I said, in general, All-Star Weekend, my favorite stuff about All-Star Weekend isn't anything to do with it. It's more about other stuff going into the knockout stages or the draft board opening up. But the All-Star game itself, don't get too worried about it. Don't get too worked up about who's an All-Star and who's not, and what that looks like, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense most of the time. So I think that could be something that they fix in the future. But at the same time, it's not a huge deal, and I think there's a lot of other things that they could focus on instead. So much like the NBA All-Star game, All-Star Weekend isn't a huge deal. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick kind of explanation on my thoughts about All-Star Weekend and the week in general, because I had a couple of users reach out and asking for my thoughts on it. So those are my thoughts. If you did have some All-Stars and you enjoyed it, definitely feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know how many points they dropped in the All-Star game, because you see tons of these high-score, crazy games. And if not, then no worries at all. But good luck the rest of the season to all of you. I know we are coming down to the home stretch. We got 9 games left for the regular season, and then playoffs start. So it's moving quick. definitely moving quick. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.